Jay from Williams Honey Farm, and today I'm going to show you how to install a 3-pound package of bees. So this box here is filled with 3 pounds of loose bees and 1 queen in a cage that's connected to this little plastic strap here. It's got a cover on top and 1 can of sugar water upside down that's sitting in the bottom of here. So we're going to go through a couple of different steps on how to get it ready, and then we're going to dump it all in. So first thing you need to know is your equipment. So you got your entrance reducer down here. Always have the opening on the left hand side because the bees fly in a clockwise formation and they're always going to come back preferably to this side. I also noticed that you have the opening on the upper side of the entrance reducer rather than the bottom side. That's in case any sort of bees die in the front here. You have the chance for the other bees to climb over and get on out and fly away instead of blocking the entrance. This is an 8-frame medium box, and I have a couple drawn out frames already to sort of speed up the process, but you can start with just blank empty ones if you want. But you also notice that I have a couple ones that haven't been drawn out quite yet, and that's so that the new bees can exercise their wax glands. So you always want to have sort of a mix of frames in there. You don't want to have everything drawn out. Other pieces of equipment are an entrance inner cover. I have it screened on top. You also want a telescoping cover and a hive top feeder, just like that. Alrighty. Now I should say that everybody's got their own methods. Everybody has their own styles on how to install packages, and so this isn't the only way to do it. This is just how I do it. So choose whatever you like or follow your mentor. This is just one way to do it. And this equipment is just the kind that I use. There's many, many different types out there. I really can't say that one is better than the other. This is just my system. This is how it works. So anyways, you're going to get your 3-pound package of bees. These guys are a little stirred up because it's a little warmer today than I'd prefer, but you're going to get your package of bees ready. You're going to take out, with your hive tool, a few frames, sort of give yourself a little space to work, because you're going to be dumping all these loose bees in there. You're also going to want to set your frames up in your hive so that the wedge right here, the wedge of your frame, always points towards the center. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all pointing towards the center. You've got a wedge here pointing to the center, wedge here pointing towards the center. So I've basically made kind of some room in here, a little bit of a gap. Hopefully you can see that. Got all your equipment lined up. You also have your screen bottom board on the bottom is covered up so that the bees will kind of get a little bit of a quicker start. Take your hive tool, start prying off that top piece of wood real gently. There's really no hurry here at all. Now save this a little bit. Kind of put it right over here because you're going to need it in a second. So what you see here is that can I was telling you about, and then this little piece of plastic, this banding, that's connected to a queen that's hanging down in the middle of this loose bees. So what you want to do too is kind of disconnect or get rid of the staple that is keeping that band from slipping right in there. You want to be careful. Keep your hand on it whenever you're manipulating this thing, because again, the queen is just loose in there. You don't want to just fall in straight in the middle of a clump of bees. It's not the end of the world, but then you got to reach in and grab it. So here's the trick. How do you get this can out of here that's sitting upside down? Take your pointer finger, hold down that queen tab, gently tilt it upside down. Look what I just did. Freed up that can. I kind of shake that can just a little bit, not too crazy. Right when I take this can out, I'm going to grab this queen and I'm going to take her out and inspect her too, okay? This is when it's normal to have a few bees come out. That's why you save the little wooden thing there, wooden cover, kind of block all the other ones coming out. So what you want to do is you want to look inside this queen cage and make sure that the queen is alive, which she is. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in this picture or not. Hopefully you can see her in there. She's the fattest bee. She's crawling around. See, there's a plug right here. Hold on a second. There's a little cork right here. And there's also a cork right there. Well, see, there's some sugar candy in here. This one's kind of eaten away, but there's some sugar candy in here. What you're going to do is take your hive tool and you're going to pop out that cork with the corner of your hive tool. Some people like to take this cork and stick it in your pocket so that you can remember how many of these at the end of the day that you've opened, so you don't miss any. So anyways, you've exposed that opening right there. You've kept this cork where it is. What you're doing is allowing the time of, by the time all the bees inside eat their way out and the bees on the outside eat their way in, the queen and the rest of the package has gotten to know each other, so there's not going to be any fighting. Now this package has been around for a few days now, so they've kind of had a head start eating away at that sugar. So I'm not too worried about them getting to know each other, but that's generally what you want to do. Hopefully you can see that okay. All right. So what you're going to do is we remove that cork. We're going to grab our frame right here, and what I do is I take this without smushing any bees. I squish it right at the bottom, right like that. Kind of hold it in place. See how they still can crawl out from there? And then I take the other frame I like to take one that isn't quite as drawn out, and I'll sandwich it in between the two. What you've created is a little gap. I don't know if you can see through there. Well, take my word for it if you can't see. The queen cage is stuck in between. And then I put it right inside here, sandwiched in that hive body, which in this case is a medium super. Now just for kicks, I'll take one more out just to get a little bit more space. Alright, so this is the exciting part. Then you take your package. Just know the bees are kind of going to go everywhere. Take our hive top off. Shove them in there. And then gently start rolling them back and forth. Once, do this. There you go. Take your box, and I put it right inside of, or right in front of the hive, so the bees that are left over will be closer to the scent of their own hive. Gently take a frame, kind of ease it on in there. Take your next one. Just ease it on in there. Don't smush any bees. Take your time with this part. There's really no rush. If you got a whole bunch of hives to do, it's recommended to do about one of these every 40 minutes, if you got the time. Gently put them in there. Nobody got smushed. Take our time. Everybody relax. Get an idea of what's going on in the area. You see all these bees right now? All they're doing is orienting. They're trying to figure out where the hive is, where mama is, and where home is. Take your time, everybody's relaxed. If you can see right now, they're all actually sticking their butts up in the air. It's called fanning. They're putting out their pheromones to let everybody else know in the area, hey, this is where the house is, this is where home is, or their new home. Alright, so they're in there, the queen's in there, I make sure I got her in there, the rest of them is in here. I got the front entrance closed up. Now this is when you be very careful. Again, you could take your time, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to speed it up just a little bit. With your corner of your box here, I just go a little bit offset. It's hard to tell in this video, but it's not perfectly lined on this box. I've slid it up over the corner, and all I'm doing is putting them right in there. I just just sort of kicked them right inside the hive. I didn't smush anybody by putting this straight down. And I'll have to line the back up here, this hive top feeder. Everything is straight and good to go. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to fill this with sugar water yet, but you would now want to try and put some sugar water in there. Go easy, put the inner cover right down there. I put it with the notch in the front, some people put it in the back. Put my telescoping cover on top, and then I slightly move the telescoping cover forward, putting a little gap in the front there. And that's it. Don't leave this out, take it with you, take your garbage with you, and come back in about 3 or 4 days and double check on them. In general, you want to take about a week or so before you're sure that she's been released and that it's all good. Thanks a lot, have a good day.